Hello there, survivors. Welcome back to ARK Survival Ascended. Today, I've built this wizard's tower, which also functions as an aviary for all your feathered friends, or even your pterodons, of course, and I think it turned out pretty nice indeed. Now, before we start with a little tour showing you around in this new build, if you do want to see more on this and maybe a build tutorial, let me know down in the comments below, and then let's get into the full build. So here we are at the castle that I'm working on, the Red Keep from Game of Thrones, or at least inspired by it. And I have a new wizard's tower that I've added here on the edge of this rock, which I turned into an aviary. So I think it turned out really cool. And the way that I designed it or imagined it is that you can have this tower next to your current base as an aviary with the birds in it, but you could of course also early on start with this tower because it does have some space on the inside to do some of your storage and crafting before you move on to maybe a bigger base. And of course you'll also have plenty of safe spots at the top of the tower for your flyers as well. So yeah, this is not going to be about this castle that I'm working on. I will be continuing that of course soon. But more on this tower, and as you can see there's a lot of plans around, and that's for a reason. I've added the JVH mod, which is a landscaping mod, using this little table which allows you to place down plants and stuff. And yeah, I think it's just a nice way to be able to add a couple of extra details and testing it out. But yeah, those are the random details of plans that you will see around the tower, but of course you could easily build this without it and still make it look good. All right, let's start climbing the tower. So what I tried to do is have like a winding staircase up to the base. Of course, this will very much depend on your landscape. If you do have a rock like this, you could make it actually have this winding staircase. Otherwise, it would be a little bit harder. But yeah, you can see we got all the plants around. Also on this smaller tower, I actually really like... Wait, let me go down quickly because I need to look at the base. I actually really like this little look of the two towers connected together. So we have the big tower and then a little archway to this smaller tower that is on the side. And I really like the effect of that. We'll fly up in the air in a little bit and get a better view of it as well. But yeah, we got this winding staircase that goes underneath. That was very important to me. Underneath this little archway where you can go up to the blaze, and then here we have the big tower, and we can see the other small tower in a little bit more detail as well. And how I would love if we had just a few of these smaller vine-like things to place around in ARK, because look at how much that adds. Just a little bit of green here and there adds a lot. But yeah, we have the tower here, but you also have like a little walkway to still go around your tower, so you can still check out all your surroundings. And yeah, you just have a nice little extra bit of room. It's also just that this platform is used so that we have foundation support everywhere, and that we start in a little bit with the tower and then go out for the top part that's made out of wood. So there we go. You can also see I've got some custom textures here for the doors, for the windows, for these battlements. That is a custom cosmetic that you can also use on official servers. It's the Manor mod custom cosmetic, which allows you to change some of the looks of some of your walls, etc., to a more castle-like approach. You can just install it and you should be able to use it from your cosmetic tab. So you do that by clicking this custom cosmetic button, and then all your custom cosmetics should be visible to equip. You drag them onto the little house icon normally, and then you can then use them in game. And yeah, we really recommend checking some of them out because you can do some really nice details. It's basically like the Frontier skin that was in the DLC, but now you can pick and choose what skins you want and will use. Alright, so then in the tower, as I said, you have room for a little bit of storage around. I've used some of the torches with some nice custom cosmetic skins as well. I do see that a little bit of the plants are clipping through the walls, but honestly, I'm not too mad about that. I mean, they have open windows, there's no glass in them, so I feel like that does make sense. So yeah, we have a little room here, smithy, and then just a little bit of storage around just to get you going in your base. But of course, yeah, it's not a lot of room, but it's a little bit of room, which I think still is nice to be able to use. And then we have a second layer where you do have a little walkway, so you could still do something here, maybe add like a bed or something, you know, maybe make your bedroom out of this. Still have some nice views from the windows, of course. And this is where we have the little bridge connecting to the other tower. So yeah, we have this little walkway going across, and then we have this smaller tower. Didn't really know what to do with this, but yeah, I figured it would be a perfect place to have like a teleporter later on in your playthrough, because of course it's the perfect little size for that. But otherwise, I mean, you could also just make like a crafting station out here, I guess, just to make it look good. You will have some nice views, of course, depending on where you build it. Yeah, just a nice little side tower before we go all the way up to the top of the tower. And then here, this is where you would park all of your flyers. And as you can see, there's a decent size of room here. Yeah, you could probably park at least 2 or 3 more birds or pterodons here. Of course, the bigger ones, it's going to be a little bit more tricky, but this was made with those flyers in mind. Feeding trough up here, I'm using the healthy feeding trough mod, which just makes them look a little bit nicer. But of course, normally a normal feeding trough would be fine as well. And then we got the PTE, we got some RGs here, all standing proud. This is another healthy feeding trough, looking quite cool. And if you're wondering why my RGs are dressed for war and look so epic, that is another custom cosmetic skin that you can apply to the saddle. And look at those. Those are amazing to make your RGs look like the proper warriors that they are. Yeah, I really love the look of this custom cosmetic. So yeah, this is the little wizard's tower that I've made. I really like the way that this turned out. Like, I love the look of the tower. I tried to use, yeah, it's just the vanilla textures. You could use this. I think on official you would have to do a slight adjustment for the roof, because I did some overlapping with ramps to kind of get that little gradual shape into the roof. But for the tutorial, I would make sure that I have 2 designs for the roof, I guess. The one that I did here, and then one that would be available on official as well, without any overlapping. But yeah, so you have the bigger tower, you have the smaller tower to the side, and just a really nice place, I think, to park some of your flyers quite safely. And yeah, in addition to any base, I think, or just a little starter outpost somewhere, because you have a little bit of room down below, and they have plenty of room to park your flyers up there. And I think it is a pretty cool and neat build that you can use as like a little addition to your base for your flyers, as a proper aviary should be. But you could also, again, use it just to get you started before you start building the rest. Or you can do like me, and you can build it next to your castle and have it as part of that. Yeah, this was a really fun design to do. This was also a suggestion by one of you guys. So if you do have any suggestions for me to things that I should build, things that I should try to design, or just other dino pens that you would like to see me design something specifically for, please do leave them in the comments down below. And you know, if I see something and I have some inspiration to build something specifically for that, it might just end up happening. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed this design. If you did, of course, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, but also let me know if you would like to see a full build tutorial for this design as well. And then thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.